Jai Jagannath aspirants, welcome to the first video on the series Prelims Quick Bites. The first video I may discuss about the national accounting measures like GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, etc. Okay, let's see how much you remember. Let's revise. GDP kaun? What is GDP? Gross Domestic Product is the market value of all the final goods and services. Final mane kono? Finished out, sold out. Okay, either intermediate include karthauni. That means only final goods and services produced within the domestic territory. Okay, in a given period of time. That is often annually thai. Right? So that is GDP. Now what is domestic territory? Domestic territory koile ame exactly kono buju. I have written here. It includes what? The political boundary, geographical. So India GDP discuss kariba. Then India political boundary including territorial waters. Remember what territorial waters are, okay? Up to how much nautical miles territorial waters belong to a nation. Recall karantu. Next, embassies, consulates and military establishments located abroad minus foreign embassies in the country. ଯେମିତି କି suppose US रे Indian embassy ଅଛି, right? So Indian embassy रे जो माने काम करते they are our GDP, their income is included in our GDP. Okay, same thing New Delhi you have the embassy of the United States of America. State जो माने काम करते तांकर incomes will be included in US's GDP. Okay, plus income from international waters. एडा कौन? For example, I run an airlines from, let's say I'm an Indian, I run an airlines from let's say New York to US to England. Okay, so neither US nor England is I'm the resident of neither of those countries, but my airline runs from in between those countries, so that's international territory for me. Okay, and the income that I earn from those territories would be included in my GDP because it can't be included in either of US or England's GDP. Okay, so this is what domestic territory actually includes, right? Okay, next we'll just convert domestic to national. So we'll do gross national product, GNP. What is GNP? As the name suggests, ebe national upre focus hobo, right? Nationals mane it has to be the income or the total output of final goods and services by the nationals. Okay, it is normal residents will khaiji, but ignore that for now. Just remember it's by nationals. Nationals mane nationals of a country in a given period of time, generally financial year or fiscal year. Okay, so let's actually learn the relation between the domestic product and national product, how they're related. For example, let's say this is a country's geographical boundary, political boundary, and let's say there are two people inside the country. One is A, who is a national, and one is C, who is not a national, but another national B is working abroad in some other country. Okay, so let's say A is the income earned by the national from the domestic territory, B is the income earned by the national from abroad. Okay, and C is the income earned by the non-national or the foreigner from the domestic territory, our territory. Okay, so from definitions we saw above, GDP kon hobo? GDP is A plus C because it has been produced within the boundary. Okay, A plus C. GNP kon hobo? GNP will be by the nationals, so it will be A plus B. So I can write A plus B as A plus C plus B minus C. Okay, so GNP becomes what? GDP plus B minus C, and B minus C I can say this is the net factor income from abroad. B re income asila, C re income gola. Okay, so it will be net factor income from abroad. So I can see to convert domestic to national, I have to add the net factor income from abroad to the domestic part. Okay, so there's a question for you. When will GNP become equal to GDP? Okay, please mention in the comment section. So we saw that domestic to national we have to add net factor income from abroad to domestic value, okay, to get the national value, right? Next, how would a conversion that is gross and net. Okay, gross money it's overall, net means there is some kind of losses, and you have to reduce the losses to get the actual value, net value of that product, or that entity. And loss here actually is the depreciation, okay, or the consumption of fixed capital, because depreciation सबବେଳେ fixed capital ऊपर ही हुए. What is depreciation? It's a reduction in value of goods, capital goods especially, that is machinery, due to wear and tear, breakdown, etc., and lapse of time. Because, for example, you buy a vehicle and kichi barsa par its value decreases. It's because of depreciation. Okay, so gross को net କରିବା ପାଇଁ you have to deduct the depreciation from the gross amount to get the net amount. So that's how they are related. Right. Next is factor cost and market price. Factor cost which is cost incurred on factors. Okay, factor income. Market price है factor income संगे out जहाँ if you add the indirect taxes you get the market price. What are indirect taxes? Indirect taxes, net indirect taxes are actually the taxes, indirect taxes that the government imposes on them minus the subsidies that the government gives them. Okay, it actually complicated achi. The real relation is something else. The market price is equal to factor cost plus the net production taxes, okay, plus the net indirect taxes, but we will not go into that. Just remember, market price is equal to factor cost plus net indirect taxes. That's it for now. The next relation is about the current prices and the constant prices. Either nominal or real value ase. Okay, nominal GDP and real GDP. Current prices are actually the goods and goods and services valued at the current year's prices. Okay, prevailing prices. Ebe jaha price chalchi. But constant prices are like goods and services valued at a base year's price. The base year kaun? Got a reference year. Okay, you just recall what base year is. Base year characteristics kaun thai, and base year kaun pe required thai. Okay, that's your homework. Do actively recall. So what exactly do we use to calculate growth? GDP grows by 4%, 5%, 8%. Data. Which GDP is required at constant prices or at current prices? That's your homework also. Please look into it. Okay. And why do we use that? Why is a base year required? Right. Next we'll see national income. वो जगह सुनते हो national income से, but what exactly is national income? All of the aggregates that we saw, GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, etc., at market prices and factor cost, सब कुछ type of national income. Okay, but RBI has chosen one aggregate of that which we follow in India as our national income. So whenever we say our national income is this, we actually mean it is net national product at factor cost. Okay, factor cost basically किचने factory gate जते वाला जिन्स goods and services are at the factory gate सेते वाला बाहर ला वाला तांको जहाँ भी factor of production रा cost लग जी, that is a factor cost. Very crude way, very layman terms, this is what factor cost is. Will not go into details of what factor cost is. It might be complicated, but the factory gate रे जहाँ prices जिन्स just बाहर ला वाला को तांको पर जहाँ prices लगी जी, excluding the taxes and subsidies. Okay, that is factor cost. So at factor cost, the net national product, net केमते आसिबो by subtracting depreciation from gross, and national केमते आसिबो by adding the net factor income from abroad to domestic value. Okay, so that is net national product at factor cost. So when we say per capita income, tal कौन आजिबो? National income upon population, right? So NNPFC by population is your national income. Okay, so there are some other topics that you need to revise. Okay, what are the three methods of estimating national income? GDP deflator ta kono. Okay, then you have conventions adopted by India. India रे कौन convention adopt कराई छी 2015 रे बहुत बड़ा change हैला. हमें को value को नोचुटिंग टाइम NNPFC नोचु for national income. सेमती हमें GDP at को price नोचु, GDP at market price नोचु. Okay, I'm telling you this, that we calculate GDP at MP because IMF does that. Okay, हमें सही convention को follow करचु. Plus GVA को term अच्छी. What is GVA? Gross value added. Okay, GVA term basic prices रे नोचु. That basic prices पुनी कौन? Okay, what is NPT? The net production taxes kona, factor cost kona, I just revise kale, but if you want you can explore further. I don't think it's necessary for OPSC prelims right now. Okay, if you but a revision video it's not very possible, so if you are interested you can do that. Plus agote jinsa disposable income kona, personal disposable income kona, national disposable income kona. Okay, what are the items included or not included while estimating the national income? So these are certain few topics or things or points that you have to revise if you are interested more into this chapter. But I guess this is it, and any question from this topic can be solved using this video in the exam, especially OPSC prelims. So thank you very much. Jai Jagannath.